At the bottom of the hour, I'm going to open the phones up on any issue, long-time callers, first-time callers, Trump, what's happening in the Middle East, you name it, 800-259-9231, 800-259-9231. And we're going to obviously also get into the Oscars and Leonardo DiCaprio, who I think is a great actor, but give me a break, calling for global warming taxes and stuff when he flies around these jumbo jets with the biggest carbon footprint out there other than people like Obama that tells people in Africa you can't have cars or air conditioning out front a giant jumbo jet with 15 airplanes that came with him. Again, these liberal elite, they can have all the prosperity and the money, but we can't have anything. I mean, it's crazy. They're training us to be poor to control us, and that's what our guest was just talking about, Miriam Witcher, who's been here 35 years in the United States, and she's seen her success go down as the economy has fallen apart. And we also have two ladies who've been on before and who are known all over the country now, Diamond and Silk. We've got Diamond to the left and Silk to the right. If you're a TV viewer, if you're a radio listener, you can always tune in to Infowars.com/show, and stations across the country. They're now picking up the TV show to actually see these ladies, but diamondandsilk.com are their websites, and riding shotgun for the rest of this segment with us, obviously, is Miriam Witcher. Miriam, you had one other point, and we're going to go to these ladies, but you're going to stay with us to make points. You had one more point, though, about Super Tuesday coming up tomorrow.
Absolutely. This is for Texas and for every state in the United States. Please, I invite you to vote for the man with integrity, honesty, and transparency, Donald J. Trump. He will be for us, for every American citizen, every race, every nationality. Please vote only Donald J. Trump. Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming to Austin to be with us. You're going to go out and do a interview with folks on the street coming up as well, but stay with us for the rest of the segment.
Thank you.
Now, with us to the bottom of the hour are the ladies we just talked about, Diamond and Silk. I'm not going to go over their whole background. Folks know who they are, but they stand, in their own words, for the silent majority. As African-American women, they are voicing their views about media bias, political babble, and repetitive political tactics that they feel the average American is tired of being subjected to. And that's just it. And I'm proud the last 5 or 6 months I've said, obviously, Trump's the guy. But I still had questions. But when I saw the Chinese government that's killed over 80 million of their own people on record come out and say, America, you don't vote for him or else. And the Vicente Fox, with all his corrupt background, his brother, coming out and saying, you do what I say, and our Joe Biden apologizing. And the British government saying they may ban Trump from flying there, or Scotland may kick his business out, and all this crap. I mean, that's terrorism. And Obama saying he's uneligible, and, I say you can't have him. And all these other groups and all these elites and the Davos group and the New York Times owned by Carlos Slim. I'm not against anybody, but foreigners own all our media. China says what movies can come out now. I went and saw The Martian. They admit the Chinese government basically funded it, where we can't get rockets into space, but China can. It's just crazy how we've been colonized by all these corporate groups that see America as chattel slaves, and they want to break our will and make us submit. So I'm more proud than ever. And then I look at the New York Times. I've got the article here from 2000. I want to ask Diamonds and Silk about this right now, where Trump came out in 2001 and said, I'm not going to be part of the Reform Party now because the Klan and David Duke's involved. Reform bid said to be a no-go for Trump. And then they do the famous tactic they did in earlier elections. He's on remote. They cut his audio off. He can't hear what they're saying. They go, something, Duke, white supremacy. He goes, what, who, what groups? I can't say without knowing the groups. And then they go, oh, my gosh, he's for David Duke. The dirty tricks. And now the New York Times calls for killing him, and nobody gets in trouble. We have Austinites on video. We went out. They said, yeah, murdered him down at UT. Just kill him. These people are crazy. And so, Diamond and Silk, thank you so much for coming on with us today. I'm kind of ranting here. What do you want to tackle first I've covered? I mean, are you more proud than ever with all the world leaders lining up against Trump? Why can't we have our own president that says he's going to try to have fair deals for us and that talks about having real jobs again? I don't, they are so scared of just having a nationalist. What's your view on this, ladies?
Well, we can have that if we get out and vote for that. And see, it's about we the people. We the people will decide this election, but we have to get out and we have to vote.
That's right.
As far as what CNN did yesterday to our man, Mr. Donald Trump, listen, I would have wished the media would have taken and disavowed the Democratic Party because they are the one that started the KKK movement to keep people of color down and to intimidate them and to manipulate them.
That's right.
So that's what they should have been going towards. But you know, David Duke is his own man.
Yes.
David Duke can vote for whoever he wants to vote for. And Donald Trump is not to be held accountable for who vote for him.
That's right.
He can't help who vote for him.
He can't help that.
He can't. I think this
If
is
that's the case, they'll start having child molesters and their Democrats go vote for him to say child molesters support Trump.
Trickery.
That's all it is.
This is straight trickery.
That's what it is.
Media trickery is what this is.
Yes.
And we have to, we the people have to ignore it.
Exactly.
And like I told them on the last video, if you see something you don't like, just cut the TV
Cut
off.
it off.
Just cut it off
That's
and find
right.
some other source of news. Because I'm not falling for that okie doke.
That's
I'm not
right.
falling. That's the first. I don't know why the media use that to try to tear someone down. I don't know why
Yes.
the media do that.
It's like a race baiting.
It's like a race.
Well, they've been
bait.
caught before cutting feeds off, you know, and then asking a question, and the person says, huh, and then they go, oh, look, you're stupid. CNN's been caught with fake blue screens. They've been caught with fake Iraq coverage. They have no credibility.
Listen, I know how that goes. I know how you have an earpiece in your ear and you can't hear whatever.
Right.
But keep in mind, Donald Trump disavowed this person, 3 days ago? And then
Right.
back in 2000, 2001, I'm over with this story.
Yes.
They can go ahead on and hang this one up. Let's move on to the next.
That's
Because,
right.
see, this is a movement.
That's
and
right.
while they using this platform for them to have a moment because they got the dance for the puppet masters, those career politicians, we're moving on.
I
And if you
agree.
go to
What do you think of the Koch brothers, the guys that have run the establishment Republican Party, giving $75 million at that secret meeting? It's now come out with Rubio last Thursday. It's come out in the news to defeat Trump. I mean, if that doesn't tell you, the Republican establishment, the Democrats, the Chinese communist murderers, everybody who's evil is against Trump. I mean, my gosh, I'd be crazy if I didn't go all in.
A waste.
Yes.
You know, our veterans, we have some homeless. Some are not getting adequate medical care. We have people living in poverty. People want opportunities.
Yep.
But you got these big wigs wasting money.
Wasting.
From Bush now to the Koch brothers. That's just waste. Waste is what I see.
They've already
And I
spent, what is it, $300 million trying to beat Trump, and none of it's working.
Right. I don't see how that's conservative.
That's
They
right.
want to run on a conservative platform. That don't seem conservative
That's
to me.
not conservative.
Yeah, it's conservative that Trump hadn't spent anybody's money. He's just out there doing it all, changing the whole game. That's why Chris Christie and Endorse, that's what we need, game changers. We know the current thing isn't working. They're scared of him because they already have taken over the country. Let me ask you, amazing lady, something right now. What do you want to cover? Because I got a lot of questions, but in your gut, you guys got a lot of, you know, obvious smarts there, real world smarts. What do you expect them to hit him with next? And what does your gut tell you is coming down the road? And what can all of us do to make sure we make the elite, you know, nightmare a real nightmare?
Well, they're probably going to hit with commercials, lies, more lies.
That's right.
Our job is to ignore it and get out and vote. Make sure you get out tomorrow and vote.
Yes.
I think the next voting day after that is March the 15th.
Yes.
Get out and vote and let your voice be heard. You want to vote for Donald J. Trump?
Yeah.
You want to vote right? Because if we don't vote right this time, we are going to get left
And
again.
keep in mind that a vote for Donald Trump is victory over the establishment.
Yes.
That's right. So
Love
get out
it.
and vote tomorrow.
And by the way, that's for real. Why do you think the establishment is literally peeing their pants?
Because they're so used to controlling everything.
That's right.
It's the elite. They're used to controlling it. And Donald Trump is going to clean house.
Yes.
All of this corruption is going to stop.
Out the door.
And see, they don't see these career politicians are so used to going to D.C. or Washington,
Yes.
working for their own greed and not the need of people.
That's right.
Donald Trump is making it now where you're going to work for the need of people and not your own greed.
Well, I've never seen, ladies, and I want you to pop in, you know, here as well, Miriam. I've been on there 21 years. I've been politically involved for 25. I mean, my dad was sending me to Ronald Reagan speeches when I was, 8 years old, but I've been involved my whole life, basically. My mom made the point that during the Watergate hearings, I was, sitting there breastfeeding, but I've never seen an elite more scared. I've never seen somebody coming out for 9/11 truth, going after the IRS, going after the private Federal Reserve, going after these big banks being tax exempt. I mean, it's just incredible. How could, it's just such a no-brainer. And I have friends that go, I'm going for Cruz because he's a real Texan. A real Texan, I'm an 8th generation Texan. But I'm not going to vote for somebody just because they say they've lived in Texas part of their life. I'm going to vote for somebody not off what color they are or where they're from, as long as they're American and want to try to fix this country. It's just crazy. What do you ladies say to that?
Well, I agree. I agree. We didn't vote race this time based on gender or race. We voted this time based on who is going to do the job.
Or if you live in Texas, I could care less who the candidate is. I want the best candidate. I don't care if they're from New York.
There you go.
Yes.
The best candidate that we see is Donald J. Trump.
Why do you think, as a true classic Northern Yankee, the Southerners are his stronger supporters? Doesn't that kind of shatter this idea that Southerners don't like Northerners?
Well, I think here in the South, people are excited.
Yes.
You know, we lost a lot of manufacturing in the South.
That's right.
And why is it that we have these presidents that sign in these trade deals to outsource all of our jobs?
Oh, I love it.
People want that.
Hold on, I got to interrupt you. Absolutely. Here's the deal. Here's the deal. I don't just say this to act like I'm nice and say it. I want to say it. I grew up in Dallas. Half my friends were black, playing football, baseball, you name it. Because, they were the guys that were fun to go out, see a movie with or go out to a restaurant with. My gosh, in fact, that's what I miss most about moving down here my last year of high school was all my, African-American friends in Dallas. But I tell you, you get down here, you get in college, all you hear about is how you're evil because you're white and all this stuff all day. While they've got us all fighting with each other, we're being discriminated against that our jobs are being shipped overseas in one-sided deals. We're being discriminated against that they're bringing in people to undercut the wages. We're being discriminated against in that as Americans, we're getting screwed over. And you're right, you just said it. We're being discriminated against by the elites, all of us together, and that's why they've got MSNBC race baiting, because they want to divert us while that's happening. So you just talked about real discrimination. That's my hot button. Ladies, lay it out for us right now.
Well, here's the deal. People want someone that's going to work for the people, not against the people.
That's right.
And when we look at Donald Trump, he's working for the people. He wants to work for the people. He's worried about that American worker. He wants our jobs here.
Yes.
We cannot just be a service country. We need to have our manufacturing back home. He wants people not underemployed, but gainfully employed.
That's right.
He wants people to have opportunities where they're coming up, where we can create middle class, upper middle class, even some rich people.
And that type of prosperity makes the elite even richer, but the corrupt elite don't want that. They want control. And Trump wants prosperity.
Trump wants prosperity.
For all of us.
And we don't want another broke president.
No, we don't.
We want our president signing the front of those checks, not the back of those checks,
That's
baby.
right.
We want our president, and I say this all the time, if you ever want to know what's wrong with the body of people, look at the head.
That's right.
If the head is broken, then the body of people is going to be broken.
That's
so
right.
if someone like Donald Trump came in and he's prosperous and successful, then the body of people will be prosperous and successful.
That's right.
And that's why we're looking at Donald Trump to vote for him.
Well, it's a fundamental difference. America's never been perfect, but the reason it was better than other, it was about letting everybody be free and have a shot, even though it was hard. And that's why it built so much prosperity. Socialism and collectivism is a disaster. Look at Bernie Sanders. Look at Hillary, but also look at Hillary, who ran for governor with her husband with rebel flags. I'm not getting into rebel flags and bashing them. But the point is, and all of her Dixie Mafia and Klan connections and Robert Byrd, I mean, it's just a fact that my grandfather ran as a Republican and won when he got back from World War II and had the Klan basically threaten him in East Texas because he was for civil rights. It was the Republicans that passed the Civil Rights Act. And I just don't get, now the Republicans haven't been perfect. There's been some racist Republicans, but how they inverted reality and turned it into the Democrats are the ones that are anti-racist when they're the ones playing both sides. And I think it's time to expose Hillary and the rest of it. But her comments about black people being super predators and they got to be made to heel like a dog. Imagine if Donald Trump had ever said something like that.
Oh,
my goodness.
we wouldn't hear the last of it.
But
we're not worried about Hillary Clinton.
We ain't worried about
all
her.
we need to know, which one of you all we got to go up against.
That's right.
We done already been on that Democratic plantation, so we know what it's like.
That's right.
So we got a lot to say
Hello.
when it comes to the general
Who's
election.
more scary, Hillary or Bernie? Probably Hillary.
Both of them scary.
Both of them look scary.
Yes,
However.
yes. Bernie want to give everything away, and all he's doing is teaching people to rob children, to rob Peter to pay Paul. You can just throw something on a credit card and don't worry about paying it back. And Hillary, I don't even know why she running.
Why?
You know, they don't get to play musical chairs with the presidency.
That's right.
We done already had a Clinton that done messed things up. It's time for the Clintons to go home and sit down.
And sit down.
Yeah.
You ladies are on fire. And again, Miriam, you pop in anytime you want. But you got the floor. We got like 6-7 minutes left to break. I appreciate you coming on. Instead of me asking the questions, lady, you guys just turn it loose. In fact, let's go first there on the right with Silk. Silk, you spent about 3 minutes with what you think is most important.
Well, what I think most important is we need our jobs back here in America, period. When you got people working and they're able to feed their families, take care of their household, then they will feel whole again. Right now, when you lose, if you don't use it, you will lose it. Men, they have muscles, so it's time for them to get back to work. Women, it's time for all of us to get back to work and build our family union. It's time for people to stop allowing people to race bait them by staying stuck in the pains of your ancestors, staying stuck in the pain of racism, staying stuck in the pain of hate. It's time to get out of the womb and get in reality, because the more you look at the past, you'll miss out on the present. It's time for us to move forward, and you can't move forward looking backwards.
That's right.
So well, Nietzsche said that which doesn't kill you only makes you stronger, and I'm not glad for the bad things that happened to me in my life, but quite frankly, I look back compared to people that had that bad stuff happen to them, they're not as strong as I am. So I'm not saying, feel bad for bad stuff that's happened, but realize if you survived it, it only made you stronger.
That's right. You can't stay stuck in it. You stay stuck in the stew, you're going to stay stuck like Chuck.
And we are not victims.
That's right.
And all of us that came here, white, black, Hispanic, we all inherited what's been going on.
That's right.
So let's take this here and let's move forward. You know, you don't fight change, you make change.
You make change.
How do we make change?
That's right.
If it seems like there's a racial divide in something, how do we come and bridge the gap?
That's right.
Because at the end of the day, we all want the same thing.
We do.
And we all got to live in this world together.
Yes. And the media has been dividing us.
That's right. That's what I want to tell the white supremacists and the black supremacists and the Hispanic ones that the media matters and George Soros are involved with. They hope we all just fight with each other and keep killing each other, like Bob Marley said, because that's all they got. Listen, there's 7.5 billion people on this planet. We're all in this together. And as soon as we figure out that we all want prosperity and security and a future and sovereignty, and you're calling for men to return. I noticed that from her as well. Women want men. And men want women. They want us all fighting with each other. All this fake feminism, it's just garbage.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. And the only way for us to unite as one race is we have to stop segregating ourselves as a particular race. We have to realize we're only one race, and that's the human race.
And that's what MSNBC wants, is everybody scared to get involved with other groups. They want us to put up our own walls. They want us to self-segregate because they are so evil. What do you ladies think about like MSNBC and the stuff they say?
Look, that's the mainstream media. I try to ignore them. I try to ignore them because you know what? That gravy train about to be cut off.
That's right.
Because as soon as this Trump train get to going and everybody is looking towards unity, the media ain't going to have nothing ignorant to put out no more.
That's right.
So that's going to cut their finances, and that's what they're afraid of.
Yes.
Some of these leaders like Al Sharpton and who these other leaders, Jesse Jackson, they won't have nowhere to run and get money from people.
Well, talk about racists. They're out saying, Al Sharpton and others, that Clarence Thomas isn't black. I mean, what kind of statement is that?
Well, I don't know, but we saw Clarence Thomas.
Yeah.
He looked black.
He look black.
He black. No, he black.
He black.
Listen, but because Clarence Thomas is probably not singing to their tune.
That's right.
See, you got to understand what a race baiter really is. The only time we see the black leaders is when someone get killed.
That's
because they can make money. But as long as these black boys are killing each other, you don't see the black leaders.
You don't see them.
You don't see them. So when it comes to these black leaders, I'm looking at them and I'm looking at them with a side eye. You know, if you really cared about the black community, you will be in the black community every day, all day.
All day.
Talking to our young boys.
I was about to say, Obama, less visits to black areas than any other president before him in the last 50 years, and then black unemployment doubles. It's almost like they took black people for granted and just said, we got you, you're done. I mean, I can't imagine if I was the first black president, you know, for whatever percentage, I guess he might actually be African, I would really actually want to help people. It seems like they've wanted to screw over black people. Am I wrong?
Well, I'm going to tell you this. Obama was the first African-American president. He did not bring in opportunities. Unemployment among the African-American community is extremely high.
He ran on hope and change.
He ran on hope and change. People walking around here with no hope don't even have enough change to buy them a loaf of bread.
That's right.
So you tell me, should people be walking around here happy about that?
All right,
Yes.
final comment here. You ladies are amazing. I want to have you back up. This is what real folks that are outside the matrix look like. They're excited. They're angry, just like I am. This is teleprompter free. They tell you, don't be angry. That's because they're scared of us having energy, like Howard Beale talks about in Network. I want to have Silk with some final comments, Silk.
Well, all I can say is people don't want an Obama phone. Give us a job, we can get our own phone. Keep in mind that this is the United States, not the divided states. And it's time for us to unite as one. Keep in mind, one race, that's the human race.
Absolutely. And ladies, folks can find you at diamondsandsilk.com. Miriam, do you want to say anything in closing, these ladies?
Yes. I want to say, Diamond and Soul, thank you so much for support Donald J. Trump. You represent Afro-American. I represent Hispanic, Latino, American citizen. And this man, Donald J. Trump, he's the one represent every race and every nationality in United States of America.
She got so excited when she saw you pop up on the TV screen. She didn't know you were coming on. Ladies, thank you so much. His lead is surging right now. That story's on Infowars.com. They're panicking. The more they attack, the more he surges. His polls are exploding. We'll be back on the other side. Don't forget, the biggest sale in our history is going right now. It ends tonight at midnight. It's the leap year sale, 30% off and free shipping. And I want to say, put on these glasses or start chewing concrete.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum. Time to take a stand, boys.
I'm Alex Jones, and like Rowdy Piper, I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick globalist butt. It's time for all of you, the Info Warriors, and myself included, to take our fight to the next level and to help the public put the sunglasses on. The metaphor for expanding your awareness, researching what's happening, and admitting that there's a global elite establishing a planetary tyranny. And I was just thinking about it today. It's leap year coming up on Monday. That only happens every 4 years at the end of February. And this is the best time ever to promote liberty and freedom everywhere. We got Super Tuesday coming up next week. And it's important for Americans to be involved in their political process, but not just in their political process, in every action you take with what you talk about and the products you buy and what you promote. You affect change in the world. We don't just vote at the ballot box. We vote with our dollars. We vote with our feet. We vote with our actions. And that's why, for leap year, running from this Friday evening right through Monday evening, we're running the biggest sale in the history of 20 plus years of InfoWars and Infowars.com. The leap year special only comes around every 4 years. 30% off all products at InfoWarsStore.com and free shipping on top of the discounts that are already there. This is a major loss leader with some of the products, but overall it will help us fund the InfoWars operation and get our reporters out there across the world covering what's happening. The planet is ready to wake up. People are ready for the truth. But to do that, those of you already awake have to redouble your efforts spreading the word and directing people to good sources of pro-human information like Infowars.com, my syndicated radio show, the nightly news, and more. I'll be back this Sunday live, 4 to 6 p.m. with the Sunday radio show as well. But in the meantime, take the time out to visit InfoWarsStore.com or InfoWarsLife.com to find the specific nutraceuticals and take advantage of the biggest specials yet on true game-changing products that are simply amazing. Like Survival Shield Nation Iodine X2. Most people are iodine deficient, and most iodine out there is bound to other compounds, so you don't really absorb it. Our research shows this is the purest, strongest, most focused, good halogen ever. And what it does is simply amazing. Read the 5-star reviews at InfoWarsLife.com today and take advantage of the biggest sale ever in InfoWars history. And on top of that, I finally want to thank all of you that have spread the word about the broadcast and that have supported us and our sponsors and bought the products at InfoWarsStore.com, because without you, none of this would have been possible. My pledge to you is that I will keep the sunglasses on, and this operation will be a sunglass factory in the metaphor or the allegory of They Live, and that we will help humanity take the blinders off, come out of the cave, and defeat this globalist system that's being constructed. Now back to InfoWars Nightly News and more. I'm Alex Jones.
Take a stand, boys. You know what? You got a little courage. Stand up for yourself.
Waging war on corruption. It's Alex Jones coming to you live from the front lines of the InfoWar.
The Oscar winners give a press conference, and how to buy a sailboat as...
Long live the Republic! Death to the New World